Attention this!
It's MoSSkull.
Hi everybody, welcome to the finals of the King of Games tournament for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Progression Series. I am me is my co-host who runs this lovely channel, and we are watching this. This is the final match between Harromont and Manny. Harromont is opening with a pretty busted, pretty solid hand right there. I mean, it's Manny opening with pretty just a basic hand, just a very monster-heavy hand. Harromont just has a solid, clean grip right there of cards.
Yeah, this is a match that our community was expecting. The rivalry among these two players is high. I mean,
oh yeah,
competitive.
Manny and Harromont are definitely our top two players. They have been consistently in this King of Games final spot for multiple tournaments now. And it's just...
Well, the last King of Game, there was a controversial duel, if you remember.
Yes.
Manny,
we were having some upkeep issues with the with some of our players not being too keen on the loaning system we had in place, where players could loan cards for the King of Games, because I started it just because I wanted our players to be able to be playing at their best, just being able to use the cards that they need to be able to show off for the format, show us at our players that they're most competitive. But other people wanted it to be a bit more in line with how the current format actually looks like. So we ended up with we basically went balls to the walls with, all right, everyone gives access to every card legally allowed in our format, and you tell us if this is a broken format or not. And it got really broken really fast. And Manny has a Harpy's Feather Duster, a Mystic Tomato, and a Sangan. That is not a solid grip right now. That Mystic Tomato is just going to be really bad, because I would not use that the Harpy's Feather Duster, because if Harromont doesn't have a Mystical Space Typhoon, he's going to have to get rid of all these cards.
Yeah.
If he does have a Mystical Space Typhoon, he's at least losing the Mystical Space Typhoon to get rid of the Mirage. And, I mean, yes, you're using the Harpy's Feather Duster to get rid of two other cards, but at the same time, the only possible thing you're worried about immediately is a removal spell for that tomato so that you can run over the Donsalug, but, I mean, even in that case, the odds of him actually having a Ring of Destruction in that back row is not very high.
Yeah, I think Manny knew that he was in a hot spot, so he has to secure the summon at the play with Tomato.
Yeah, but I would have just set the Tomato, because this Newdoria Tomato combo that he's got, this would have worked on defense just as well as offense. And so if he just set the Tomato, made Harromont have the Typhoon, and force it, then he could use the Harpy's Feather Duster next turn around when he sets maybe another Mystical Space Typhoon in preparation. He's gonna have to force the attack in with the against the Newdoria. But right now, Harromont just has the win. He's got a Yada in grip. Manny's going to he's got a Dark Hole. He's got a Yada and a Dark Hole. So whatever Manny grabs, it's not going to be enough to win him this round.
Yeah,
he could grab the...
Setting the Tomato will be a better...
Well, setting the tomato versus play... yeah, he should have set the tomato in the early thing, yeah.
and searching tomato with Sangan was not a good decision.
I don't know what his next draw would have been, but it didn't look like he had. I mean, it didn't look like he had any actual removal then. But I don't know. Like, maybe you're right. Maybe he should have grabbed the witch to be able to do this. This is for those listening. This is the second time we've recorded this match, and we've had this debate already about whether he should have grabbed the witch or not. I kind of think that it was already in the cards. He had the win. Whether he grabbed the witch or not, like, it's percentiles at that point. But it kind of feels like at that point that Harromont just has the win regardless.
Yeah, the Call of Haunted will close that game.
Yeah.
But I mean, Manny couldn't know that Harromont would draw.
Manny couldn't know that what was in Harromont's hand. But it doesn't feel like he had many options left.
But do you think is Harromont siding?
I don't know. We didn't get to see too much of his of Manny's deck this match. We know that Manny is on Fiend Tribal. He had the Nidoria, and he had the tomato. He's very dark tribal heavy Nidoria, and we see right there we've got a dark Necrofear and an Octoclops in Manny's opening hand. He's got a lot of back row removal and a Sinister Serpent. Harromont doesn't have too big of a grip. This I'm not too sure about. I feel like if you're going to set the tribute, you might as well set the witch, because you're going to probably be popping your own witch with the tribute. And so I don't know. It feels like you would rather do that. But I mean, Harromont's our top player. He's been king of games consistently. He managed to secure the previous Harromont. Did we discuss the last tournament round this game? I'm just gonna. In last format, we had a big ass balls to the walls. Everyone had access to all the cards. And Harromont went against Exodia, Limiter Removal Beatdown, and just all the most broken combos, broken stuff available in our format at the time. And he won with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Equivalent of a Jund deck.
I don't know how was the road for Manny to this King of Game, but what we have seen is that those high-level monsters can be very heavy in his hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Dark Necrofear has sort of stayed locked in his hand for many games. It's just I don't know. He doesn't have a good enough way to stock his graveyard at the moment. I don't know if he's not running, like, if I'm running a Dark Necrofear, requiring 3 Fiends in my graveyard, that's a lot. Especially with all of the removal going around in our format. This is a very removal-heavy format. And so, I would, like, I wonder how many painful choices he's running in his deck. Because this is a deck that demands like 3 painful choices to be able to summon Dark Necrofear.
I think it's at 1 in our list.
Is it limited right now?
I think it is.
Let me double check our limited list. I don't think it's limited at the moment. But activated the Harpy's Feather Duster into a Mystical Space Typhoon. That is just bad feels right there. But yeah, Painful Choice is limited. You are correct. Painful Choice is limited at the moment. But even then, I don't know. it doesn't feel worth it to be running Necrofear in this format. Like, the best cards to be running with Necrofear are like Giant Germ and stuff, where creatures like fiends that stock up the graveyard really easily. But there is so much effect destruction with Exiled Force, with Torrential Tribute, with all of this removal around everywhere. Battle floaters just aren't that good at the moment.
Yeah, Mystic Tomero is falling in grace a little bit. I mean, you have to use it in a very strategic way. You can you can keep throwing it in the field like past formats.
Yeah, like Mystic Tomato is still at the moment. Mystic Tomato is the only one that's still sticking around because Mystic Tomato can grab Nidoria, so it's at least an interesting aggressive card where. Oh, my opponent has a bunch of stuff. I can summon Mystic Tomato, run it into one thing that I can kill, summon the Nidoria, run the Nidoria into something that I can kill, and that's I can clear the board pretty much. But having to waste a Monster Reborn on the Mystic Tomato, that just feels really bad.
Yes, it is.
And Harromont has a Monster Reborn with a Witch in the graveyard, and a Jinzo. Like, okay, he can like he's also got a Exile Force in the graveyard. Like, I guess, like, I don't know what he's got planned. Oh, like I think that Harromont's got this. He could just crash tomatoes, well, they've both got tomatoes to crash, but they've got full stock of tomatoes on both ends. Or no, Harromont's actually down on the tomato end, so Harromont will lose if he tries to do the crash tomato plan.
Yeah, it seems Harromont has not a way to remove that Tomero without trigger.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
And now he's got a Pot of Greed, and he's got a Jinzo to tribute off the Sinister Serpent. This is a good grip of cards. Using the mystical, like just back row hitting back row, because there's so much back row hate right now. Yep, tributing it for the Jinzo. Running over it with the Jinzo, then swinging for that. He's got a Graceful Charity that he's not even using the Graceful Charity. Maybe he's worried about discarding the Necrofear if he doesn't like what he has. He's just trying to wait till he has, or maybe he just wants to get that Sinister Serpent in his hand first before he uses the Graceful Charity.
It seems weird decision, because I mean, you have a Necrofear in hand, and you have Graceful Charity to set up graveyard. I don't know.
Well, he's got one Fiend in the graveyard at the moment. Yeah.
That Monster Reborn, I don't know,
I think that was a smart choice, because anything else is just like if he tributed the Witch for the Jinzo summon, it wouldn't have gotten him very much, because he would either be trading the Jinzo with the other Jinzo, or he'd be running the Jinzo into a Mystic Tomato, in which case Manny will probably grab a Nidoria, which he'll then just run into it.
Yeah. Manny making hard choices right now.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot of cards. I would probably, I think, among these cards, discard the Snatch Steal.
Or maybe it's Snatch Steal.
He discarded the... I'm confused what he discarded, because I can't see... It looks like there should be something else in there, but my look at his graveyard just says Graceful Charity, Confiscation, Jinzo. But there should be something between that. Huh.
it vanished in advance, I think.
Oh, I see. Fair enough.
Oof.
Yeah, that's a good target for the snatch steal to grab.
Yeah. This is starting to look better for Manny.
Yeah, no, this is looking good for Manny. Oh, yeah, snatch steal just kills the Spirit Reaper. Right, I forgot about that. Oh, Delinquent Duo back at you.
And there is go the card advantage. That is what I don't like about those cards.
The Delinquent Duo.
They have a very huge impact in the game state without any strategy behind them.
Well, I think there is strategy if there's a single. Like we talked about this earlier at the beginning of the game. There is strategy with one discard spell. It just depends which discard it is. Like if the only discard spell we had access to was Delinquent Duo, people would absolutely be main decking, would be side decking Electric Snake because it's a perfect Delinquent Duo. On the other hand, if say Confiscation was the only discard spell available, people would be running a lot more Reanimation because it's a good way to counter Confiscation. Because okay, you pitch one card, I'm gonna reanimate it back.
Yeah,
you got that 1-for-1 trading, and if it's if it was a Forceful Sentry that was the only discard card available, people would be running more bricks. Cards that you absolutely actually want in your deck. Like Harromont showed actually over the last week a very interesting brew running the Zombie Floater in combination with can't remember its name off the top of my head, but it's the tribute monster that gets 100 attack for every monster in your graveyard.
Yeah, Shadow Ghoul, I think, something like that.
Shadow Ghoul, yeah, he was running it with the Zombie Floater, so he can just crash the crash Giant Rat into Zombie Floater into Shadow Ghoul, and he'd have this really big Shadow Ghoul to run into things. But and so you could have those sort of decks where you're really focusing on bricks that you can summon from the deck with those battle floaters. But because we have 3 completely different discard spells that all have very different applications on how to counter them and how to interact with them, there's just you can't play around them. There's no real interaction you can have with any one of them. Yeah, Monster Reborn. I don't know what you would grab with Monster Reborn, because if you just grab the Jinzo and run it into one of these, it's just going to... Okay, that's not going to be too impactful. They're both level 4, actually, so you don't really need to use the Jinzo for anything. You can just set the Gravity Bind, and that'll block them both. Yeah, I think, Harromont might have been thinking the same thing.
Yeah, there is not much use of Summon Jinzo, but Royal Oppression will end the career of that Monster Reborn.
Yeah, Royal Oppression is a very interesting card this late in the game, where both players have a really low life totals, honestly. So it's actually kind of difficult to reliably to just decide to use it. He's got a Torrential Tribute also that can just pop this the monster on summon.
And there is Royal Oppression.
Yep. And a mirror force. This game just immediately turned into just the stalliest of stall battles.
Let's not forget the king of game with not so fast playing a literally stall deck.
Yeah. Oh, okay. This might clear things up a little.
Oof.
That metamorphosis on the Sinister Serpent. That should be able to. I can't see what's in Harromont's side deck or extra deck.
The thing
But
is,
that metamorphosis should be. That metamorphosis should be able to get him a Thousand Eyes Restrict, but I'm not sure if that's the best option right now.
exactly. I think I will went for that, but
Yeah.
oh well, metamorphosis can be negated with royal oppression. Maybe.
Oh, true. Yeah, metamorphosis would be negated with royal oppression. Alright, that Ring of Destruction is good. It can pop that Doria and not risk any. It can pop either of those monsters and not risk them floating or causing any mischief.
Yeah, totally.
I would hit the Nidoria.
I mean, if you hit Tomato, Manny only will have 500, so royal oppression will be shut down, and then you can.
That's
summon
true.
Metamorphosis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's going for the Nidoria. Okay. Oh, negating the Ring of Destruction with a Book
Oh.
of Moon. That is an interesting combo
Yeah,
right there.
definitely. Harromont Dex is sending him a message. Summon Thousand Restrict, summon it.
That Possessed Dark Soul, actually, that is a... Well, okay, Harromont has the benefit of using Royal Oppression too, so that Possessed Dark Soul will basically just be 800 direct damage to Harromont's base.
Yeah.
I wonder if the reason that Manny isn't activating the Mirage of Nightmares is just because he's worried of actually decking out. Because he's only got 15 cards left in his deck. So that's a 3-turn clock he'd be on if he activated the Royal Oppression. And so much back row has already been used. He's already gone through one MST and a Harpy's Feather Duster.
I can see Mirage of
Oh!
Nightmare making a difference. Oh!
Oh, that's a weird thing.
No,
Harromont could have that. I wonder if they were in voice chat and they were talking or not, because Manny activated that Torture Tribute very quickly, because Harromont could have negated the summon of that of it with the 800, and it wouldn't have been able to trigger the Torrential Tribute. Wait a minute. No, he shouldn't be able to summon that.
yeah, it's only work
Fee.
on special summons.
Yeah. Oh, it only works on special summons.
Yeah.
Alright, that's fair. Alright, he is going to activate the Mirage of Nightmares. Just
That-
trying to dig for an answer, I guess.
That was weird. Why Possesses Dark Soul went to the field, then to the graveyard, then to the hand.
I think he just accidentally... He summoned it, then realized, oh, I already normal summoned. So he
Oh,
accidentally
yeah.
then clicked to remove it, and then it went to the graveyard, and then he just added it to hand.
Yeah, probably.
But
was that.
he only drew one card, so he's gonna have to. He didn't draw any back row. Oh, he's just summoning the Cyberjar to attack.
Oh,
I mean, it's 900. That's not bad.
no. I have won some games with that.
I mean, he's got a decent set of things. Just actually, he could summon the possessed Dark Soul, tribute it to take control of the Cyberjar, and attack with it. I wonder. Oh, Manny's debating whether he wants to activate the MoSSkull. I wouldn't. I would just discard the card because nothing specifically in his hand is really going to. Yeah, okay. He just pitches to possess Dark Soul. I guess summon Sangan, attack the Cyberjar. It'll kill the Cyberjar and be something that he can attack with. And if Harromont activates Mirror Force, he can get something. But no, wait a minute. No, if he activates Mirror Force, he'll have a clean board. Because, okay, he's got no blocker now, and then he can just summon the Sinister Serpent to attack with. Harromont's got this win right now. This is the silliest win. Killing with a Cyberjar in attack position and a Sinister Serpent.
Yeah, this is rough for Manny.
Oh, and just to add salt to the wound, he's also got a Yada to run into him. The Yada's not going to do anything because he's got that Mirage of Nightmare, but still. Yep, letting him draw that extra card. And just summon the Sinister Serpent and attack.
What is
Come on.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
I think he was debating, wondering if that was another torrential tribute on that Manny headset. Or a Mirror Force, but no, that's just Harromont wins the game by attacking with a Cyberjar. That's King of Games for you, everybody.
Yeah.
All those little details come out into the end, and Harromont is our King of Games for like the 6th time in a row.
It was definitely interesting game. Yeah, we could see overpowered cards, but the deck building of each player was important. Make a difference. So it was a nice tournament.
Oh yeah, this was a very interesting tournament. Everyone brought a completely different deck to the format, and if you want to get in on the action, click the link below in the doobly-doo and join us for the next King of Games, which will be in about 3 weeks from now.
We will wait in you.
Yep.
Stay safe, people.
Stay safe, and closing this out, I am Honey, and this is MoSSkull, and this is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Progression Series.
See ya.